Good afternoon, everybody. Hope we're all having a fine Sunday. I'm Kel. This is Kel Talks Chelsea. Sort of calling an emergency meeting here. Um, I mean, it pains me that I'm here in this context, wanting to discuss what I want to discuss. I'm sure it pains many, many of the loyal, true Chelsea supporters out there. With the state of our club, the way it's run, the finances, the debts, just everything, all the shenanigans, the lies. Yeah, we've been through all this subject before, but we're going to have to keep talking about it because all those problems are still here and they're just getting worse day after day after day, week after week, month after month. But before I get into the nitty gritty, before I delve right into it, please give us a like. Please press that like button. It doesn't cost you anything. You won't get a bruise. You won't get a splinter. You won't get a blister on your finger. Please press that like button. Help my platform. Help me grow. The bigger my platform grows, the better I get. So help this old geezer out. Help this OAP Chelsea pensioner out. I could do with the help and it would be much appreciated. And obviously, all your comments, anything you got to say is absolutely welcome. I love a chin wag. So, got anything to say, stick it down below. We'll have a waffle. But where do I start? Chelsea Football Club. Wow. What an absolute mess. I say financial crisis. It's gone even beyond that, hasn't it? It's gone into a completely different stratosphere of financial crisis. I wouldn't put it past us being the most in-debt club in the world. It wouldn't surprise me. We know about certain other loans that Blueco, Clear Lake have taken out. There were the loans with Aries Management and JP Morgan and the Bank of America. Those two loans, approximately about 1.3 billion combined, both with massive interests on. There's other expenses been splashed out on other expenditures within the club by Blueco and Clear Lake to add to that. But most recently, we've all heard about this loan from these pension funds, all to do with like the Cayman Islands. Massive bomber that come out a couple of days ago between Goonie from Man Knows Football, Johnny Minerals, Eunice, all proper Chelsea fans, all legends, all geezers, and Bobby Fairview, financial expert, knows what he's talking about, been there, done it, worked within the game. So anyone that says the waffle coming out of Johnny's, Eunice's and Goonie's mouth is absolute shite, well, obviously you know better than a proper legal financial expert, don't you, in Bobby Fairview. The man himself is a big, massive Chelsea supporter. He's elite, knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing, and he's exposed Bluecoat and Clear Lake even further with their shenanigans, their debts, their lies, and everything else. Again, go and have a look. A couple of days ago, Goonie, Man Knows Football. If you want to learn more about it, more in-depth detail, you just want to learn about the finances full stop and the absolute scowl and the absolute abyss of our finances, go and give it a watch. Man Knows Football. All right, you get all the guys on there doing a collaboration. It's flabbergasting what you will learn. It's flabbergasting, it's disgraceful, it's saddening, it's heartbreaking, it's diabolical. Go and have a watch. Man Knows Football. It's worth your while. But yeah, it seems just rounding it all off, we're now a club in about £3.84 billion in debt with loans, interests, and that's before all the financial losses we're just gaining every season because we haven't got enough money coming in. We've got massive losses. That's before we're even paying all the players' wages. This is before the owners are paying themselves 80% pay rises when we're in the mire. This is before they're paying the directors a 60% pay rise when we're in the mire. Who does that when we're pretty much bankrupt? Not far off. We're in a cesspit of debt. Each season that goes by, each year that goes by, those debts increase in value. We've got no way of paying the debts off, the loans. We can't even pay the interest. The interest rates are so high every year, we can't even afford to pay that. So let it all sink in. Again, go and watch Man Knows Football from the other day. All the guys on there. It will certainly open your eyes to the full scale and the complete disaster that Chelsea Football Club has been placed in. The full scale of the cancer that has been set upon our club by Blueco and Clear Lake and all their subsidiaries, all their other little companies involved. We seriously are in trouble. A lot of other clubs will probably be laughing at our situation right now. Well, you can laugh away, but who says people like Blueco and Clear Lake ain't going to come and take your club over eventually? It's not just Blueco and Clear Lake, it's others like them as well. You've got to look long term and for the future of football as a whole, not just the Chelsea Football Club. Liverpool's, Arsenal's, Man United's owners. A lot of American influence in there, isn't there? You've all had your troubles. Are they not warnings enough? And now we've got the creme de la creme, haven't we, of cancers running a football club. Yeah, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, is it? They've got to go. The only ways Chelsea can be saved now, I mean, there's still people saying, oh, Blueco can't sell. Well, they can. There are ways and means. There have been videos done by Johnny Minerals, Eunice, Bobby Fairview, again, on other videos, the financial expert, proving the fact. We've seen it in black and white, official paperwork from Company House, which deals with contracts and businesses and all their details and finances and stuff. So it's all legit. It's all there in black and white. You just need to know where to find certain bits of information. And these certain bits of information have been found. Blueco can sell. So, but they won't. They're stubborn, egotistical, more worried about themselves than just to do the right thing and go. Cut your losses, disappear. They're going to change the process. They're never going to change the process. They're going to keep everything as it is because it suits them. You just keep flogging this dead horse. No matter how much you flog it, guys, it ain't going to get up and start running, is it? It's dead. They're so stubborn, so arrogant, more worried about their reputations that they're refusing to budge on this process. This process is extremely obvious to you, me, and others, everyone else, the masses, the majority. It's quite obvious it doesn't work. It hasn't worked, it's not working now, and it won't work in the future. 4 years and everything is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Not one sign of any improvement. Just constantly getting lower and lower and lower into the cesspit. So they need to go. They won't go. But Aries management, and I'm sure JP Morgan and the Bank of America and these people in charge of this Cayman Island debt loan that's going on. I don't know the full details of it, but it's like some sort of pension schemes involved. The people involved in the pensions, surely everyone with Aries management can get involved. And Aries management could, if they don't see any improvements, they don't see any signs of payments being made on the interest and the loans and getting any money back themselves, they can step in and take the club off of Blueco and Clear Lake. They can take it away from them, and they themselves can deal with the sale of the club so they get their money back. So there are ways and means. We just got to keep fighting. We've got to keep fighting the cause. We've got to be resilient. Never give up. Never die. Never lay down attitudes. That's what we need. So the debts are real. I wouldn't say the debts were frightening. The debts are petrifying. Financially, we as a club are on death row. We're slowly dying and waiting to die eventually. It's going to happen unless these guys go. We're a dead club walking. That's what we are. Death row, just sitting there waiting till we're executed. The hangman's noose is not too far away. We're not just going to be hung. I think we're going to be hung, drawn and quartered. Back in like King Charles I days. Poor chap. Hanging him weren't bad enough. You know what I mean? Sliced his guts open so it spilled out on the floor and then cut him up into pieces. Well, that's what they're doing to Chelsea Football Club. It's death row business. It's real. It's real, guys. I'm not exaggerating. If you're unaware of the full scale of the debts, the amount of debts we got, the amount they add up to, the fact we can't afford to even pay the interest as well as the loans. Where have you been? How big has that stone, that rock been that you've been laying under? Or how far have you been sticking your head in the sand not to know the depth of the issues, the financial crisis at Chelsea Football Club? I think the word shocking, the word diabolical, the word disgraceful, I think all these words are just, they're not big enough words to describe the colossal size of the shit at Chelsea Football Club. A football club that was debt-free, absolutely debt-free when Blueco Clear Lake walked in. In 4 years, we're around about 4 billion, in debt. That's almost an average of $1 billion debt every year. I mean, as I say, every financial year we're hemorrhaging money. We're hemorrhaging money at 10 point something million per week. Something ridiculous like that. So end of season financial losses on top. Just all the general expenses of running Chelsea Football Club as a business. And you got all your wages and everything else. Yeah, gas bills, electricity bills, phone bills, blah, blah, blah. All the bills imaginable in running a business club on top of all the debts. And this brings me to something else with changing the process again. It's how can the process be changed? You need funds to change the process. I was having an argument on someone's show the other day where he said, oh no, we can change it. You don't need funds. And of course you need funds. To do a complete reversal on all the issues at the club, you need money to fix the problem. You can't do it with band-aids and plasters and a little bandage and a bit of cream, a bit of Savlon. That won't fix the injuries of the club, will it? Everything at the club needs funding. There are no funds. There's no money, just debts. We've mentioned before, under Roman Abramovich, another YouTuber, last week or the week before, he sort of annoys me because he does flip-flop. I'm not going to mention his name, but he loves the sound of his own voice. He's very single-minded, thinks he knows best all the time. But he said, oh, we've always been a sell to buy club. No, there's differences in selling to buy. There's selling when you just want to get rid of players that aren't good enough and you can get a buck on. You need improvements on a particular player. Yeah, you want to sell him. And then you can go and buy someone who's an improvement upon that player. That's a kind of sell to buy, yes. But there's different sell to buys. There's now the case of we turned into a club where we haven't got any funds. So to buy someone, we're having to sell. We have to sell. We have to find someone to sell just to go and get an improvement within the squad, or to go and get more players. We have to sell because we haven't got money to do it in the first place. Our hands are tied. Before it was like, oh yeah, we John Smith over there, he's rubbish. We can get 50 million for him, but we could buy Juan Mata for 50 million, who's 10 times the better player. Great business. We'll sell that so we can just improve. So it doesn't have to come out of our own pocket. You know, it's just business sense. Now it's like, oh, I've got all these Brazilian kids here. I've got these Ecuadorian kids here. I've got these kids from Kazakhstan. Well, I can buy 20 of them, but we can't afford one, let alone 20. So we're going to have to definitely sell someone. We can't definitely buy at all unless we get rid of Joe Bloggs. And now it's gone from that to an even lower step. We're not even a sell to buy club anymore. Say I'm exaggerating, but it is the God-given truth. We are a club that need to sell to survive. Absorb that into your minerals, all right? Absorb that fact into your grey matter. That is the scale. Just to survive as a club, not by players, just to pay towards interest, just to pay the loans, just to pay the bills at the club, just to pay the other general debts that the club is making. We have to sell just to pay this, that and the other before even changing the process, before even improving on player quality, before even improving on head coach quality. And they're saying, oh, we're gonna buy more proven players. We're gonna buy more experienced quality players. Big question. Where is the money going to come from? With almost 4 billion in debt and growing week upon week, season after season, growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Where are we going to find these funds to improve our squad, to get a more elite gaffer? Not that an elite gaffer wants to come to this shit show anyway, so don't believe all the hype with some of the bigger names. They're not going to get an elite gaffer, and if they do, then they're obviously bunging him some more debt money or drugging him. Right, they're sticking something in his porridge. So no elite gaffer is, with any sense, with any brain cells, is going to want to come to this club. No player of any quality is going to want to come to this shit show of a process. 4 years people have been observing this. People are fully aware. People with eyes that can see know the absolute shithole Chelsea Football Club has become. So what elite player is going to want to come? Elite players means higher transfer fees as well. So that's that out the window. With elite players, higher wages are going to be demanded. So that's that theory out the window. Elite gaffers, higher wages, going to want more control, going to want more players, elite players to suit their systems. They're not going to want to go by AI and data. They're not going to want to be interfered with by directors and owners. They want to get on with what they know best, which is more than what the directors and AI and the owners know. What elite players and elite gaffers are going to come to Chelsea Football Club? What elite players and elite gaffers are we going to be able to afford? How are we going to afford this? How are we going to afford the tweakings that have been promised at the club? Tweakings. We need a complete rebuild. We need to start again. No tweaks. Tweaks aren't going to work. We've gone too far with this. Tweaks are going to make no difference. We're too deep in this shit. You need a shovel to get us out, not a pitchfork. Pitchfork ain't going to get us out of the fucking mud, is it? So, how's the process going to change? Fund-wise, personnel-wise, it's not. We're not going to improve on players, player quality, player experience. We're not going to improve on managerial head coach eliteness, are we? We can't. They're not going to change the process because they can't and they won't. So don't believe the hype. All the names coming out recently. Anthony Gordon. What's he going to cost? 70, 80 million? Ain't happening, is it? We can't afford 7, 8 million, let alone 70, 80. Morgan at Villa. How are we going to afford him? What's he going to cost? Morgan Rogers. That's the fella. Somewhere between 70 and 100 mil. How are we going to afford that? So that's nonsense, isn't it? Igor Thiago at Brentford. Now, the talk is £80 million for him. Us and a couple of other teams are interested. How are we going to afford that? Is he worth 80 million? No, he's not. You're just going to get ripped off anyway with somebody that's been in the Premier League for a couple of minutes. Done sort of all right, but 1 or 2 seasons doesn't mean to say you're a proven, experienced player in the Premier League, does it? No, it's still fresh. Still in the honeymoon period. But again, where are we going to get the money from that? This Paul Van Heck at Brighton, the defender. Brighton always sting us when we buy players off of them. What's he going to likely cost? Somewhere between 60, 70 million for him? Where are we going to get the money from that? Can we afford that? No, we can't. Can't even afford a packet of crisps. Murillo at Nottingham Forest. What's he going to cost? 60, 70 mil? We're going to afford that? No, it's all waffle. It's all waffle. And people say, oh, well, we've got players to sell. Well, okay, let's have a look at some of the players we can sell. Badiashile, Disassi, Tosin, maybe Fofana, because he's not really been that great for the £70 million or whatever it was we paid for him. Who else can we throw in there? Garnacho, Gittins, Neto. It'll add up to a certain amount, right? Do you think, with the fact we can't even pay the interest on the loans, let alone the loans themselves, wouldn't you really think the money would go towards paying for that than going out and paying other places? And even if we did go out, what are they going to likely to do? If they want great players in, they're going to maybe have to sell some of the better players that we've got already. So let's just say, little example, just throwing it out there. They sell Cole Palmer, right? And they bring in Morgan Rogers. Okay. So you've just got rid of one to bring in another. There's no real quality levels risen there. There's one like for another, exactly the same sort of thing. Especially on current form with Palmer, because he's dipped right off. So we're not going to be still not going to be improving and spending money, and then we still haven't paid anything towards the interest, the loans, the debts. Doesn't work out, does it? Sell to buy, sell to survive. That's what we are now. Can't even pay the bills, let alone buy players. You've got to be real. So sort of forget about your Morgan Rogers, your Thiagos, your Anthony Gordons now, your Paul Van Hecks, your Murillos. It's not within their process anyway, is it? Because they're not all like 18, 19, 20 years of age, where in 2 years' time they can double their money. And they can't change it. But they're too deep in the mire to be able to change the process. So it's just lies, 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 lies. It is what it is. So there's that. You've got to get real. You've got to understand the absolute depth, the size of this black hole we've been sucked into. It's an infinity hole. Never ends. And we're just dropping deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into it, getting more lost and lost and lost and lost. So Blueco, Clear Lake either need to get off their high horse, right, cut their losses, sell the club for the better. Or Aries Management and some of the other guys that we owe billions to need to come in and go, excuse me, yeah, you know, you're not fulfilling your promises, you're not fulfilling your repayments, there's no sign of any cash coming in, there's no signs of any profit coming in, we're not getting paid, you owe us the money, therefore we're taking the club off your hands, thank you very much, and we will sell it, regain our money, and Chelsea as a football club will be better off. There will be better buyers out there. There are many billionaires in the world. There are many billionaires that love football, and I'm sure there's 1 or 2 billionaires out there that actually love Chelsea Football Club. I don't think we'll ever get another Roman Abramovich. I think he was a one-off because he was mainly all about football. When he bought the club, he said, you're not going to make profit out of a football club anyway, really. It's not really worth it. He bought and stuck with Chelsea because he loved Chelsea Football Club. He wanted us to be successful. He wanted us to be winners. And he achieved that time and time and time and time and time again. We went from a very good club because we had got to a position just prior to him coming in of actually starting to win things and hold our own in the sort of top 6, 7 of the Premier League. We had become, again, a very good club. But then Roman Abramovich took us to the elite level. And before people say, oh, you weren't elite. Yes, we were. We were winning Premier Leagues for fun. We won a couple of Champions Leagues. We won FA Cups for fun, League Cups for fun, Super Cups, Club World Cups, etc., etc., etc. So did that not make us elite? We broke positive, wonderful records, left, right and centre, all over the place. All they're doing now under Blueco is breaking bad records or equaling bad records on the pitch and behind the scenes. So we were an elite club and now we're just mid-co, aren't we? Mid-table mediocrity, Brighton 2.0, but we're not even Brighton 2.0 because we're trying to copy the Brighton philosophy. Brighton actually make a profit. They're not almost £4 billion in debt, are they? So we can't even get that right. How can we have these billionaire owners and they've got our club into such trouble? And they've got a bit of a record getting companies into trouble. Have a look at Clear Lake's history, where they've had other companies of their own under Clear Lake. How many clubs have gone bankrupt? How many companies have gone bankrupt under their ruling, under their leadership, under their ownership? How many companies have gone into liquidation? There's been plenty just in the last 2 or 3 years, but have a look over the last 10 years or whatever it is. They formed a lot of companies under Clear Lake, these subsidiaries, and they've lost a lot of companies. They've got a bit of a habit of getting businesses in massive trouble and losing them, and they're doing it to Chelsea. They're just a cancer that wants to keep spreading, and they've spread over to here, to the UK, to London, to South West 6, to Stamford Bridge, to Chelsea Football Club. That cancer is Blueco Clear Lake. That cancer is CFC LDN. We're none of them. We're Chelsea Football Club. They need to go. Sick and tired of the debts, club killing debts. Sick and tired of the lies, the broken promises, the scamming the fans, ripping the fans off, mugging the fans off. Fed up with all the PR nonsense in the media, just all the lies, etc., etc. I'm sick and tired of you buying shit players or mid players at best. Or you haven't bought any elite players. I mean, Lord Finkelstein, another PR brand envelope merchant working within the club, doing as he's told like a good boy. Yeah, Lord Daniel Finkelstein, snotty-nosed posh tosser from the House of Lords, telling us we've got a world-class team, we've got a world-class squad. Where, mate? Take your PR brown envelope glasses off, mate, all right, and have a look round and speak the truth. It's a pile of shit. Almost £2 billion spent just on players. And look at our squad and look at our team. Does this look like the directors know what they're doing? Does this look like what the owners know what they're doing in regards to footballing matters? No, it doesn't. Relying on AI and data. They use that in the MLS. What a crap football league that is. Nonsense. I mean, any sort of league, any sports league that gives themselves stupid names like fire and earthquakes and crap like that. It's fine in your basketball with your Bulls and your Lakers and stuff like that. It's fine in your baseball with your Dodgers and Red Soxes and whatever. And in your ice hockey leagues, I don't really know any ice hockey leagues, but they've all got stupid names as well. Well, here we don't even do that, right? So you can keep your MLS AI data. It may work there, but not here. This is outside. There is a world outside the United States of America, and there's a lot of stuff going on that's it's miles and miles better than what's going in within the United States of America. I mean, anyone that calls a sport that they only compete in the World Series. This is the level we're looking at, guys. What we're talking about here, eh? World Series, when you play against yourselves. Who else in the world is playing? Yeah. But the MLS, it's all run on AI and data, and it's crap. It's crap. Messi's only there because he's getting the money and he's at the end of his career. What elite player in their prime or in the more younger years of their profession, of their what's the word I'm looking for, career, goes to the MLS? It's either for young Americans or for OAP world-class superstars to go to get a payday. That's all it is. There's no quality there. Who else uses AI and data? Burnley. Look at them. They go up and down like a yo-yo. Who else? Wolfsburg. Apparently they use AI and data and they could get relegated this season for the first time or something, I've heard. So AI really doesn't do very well, and it's not doing well with us, is it? You can't go by computers. You need that human element, that human touch, that human knowledge, that human experience. We've got Academy Kinetic. That's all mates. That's all mates together there. It's all dodgy dealings behind the scenes. They all know each other from their past. They've all worked with each other and stuff. They're all in it together. Elephants in a circle, holding trunks, doing each other favours. None of them are bloody qualified enough to do any coaching and scouting. How many badges, how many official proper badges and licenses have they got between them? Good question. And then you've got our medical team. It's a private company from outside that Hollywood actors and singers use. Billie Eilish, Johnny Minerals has said Billie Eilish uses the same medical company that we use. We haven't even got our own personal medical team. They're called Remedy. This is the levels we've dropped to. This is the standards the football club is. And that's before you start talking about the finances. That's before you start talking about the state of the squad. That's before you start talking about everything they cleared out at Chelsea. A smooth running engine, a beautiful machine, a pristine machine that was working and was successful. They came in and went, No, thank you. We'll do it our way. And then since then, they've taken the club from here to down there. Done. 4 years. I knew straight away. I go with my gut feelings a lot of the time, and most of the time my gut feeling is right. And it was absolutely spot on with this lot from day one. As soon as I heard about them, as soon as I started reading up on them, started learning about them, I thought, day one, wrong uns. They're not fit for this club. They're gonna do some damage. These guys, they smell of trouble. Lo and behold, I've been right. People like Johnny Minerals has been right and been calling it out since day one. There's a few of us that have known these guys are wrong uns from day one. Oh, what it's like to be proved right. I wish I wasn't proved right, because if I wasn't proved right, the club wouldn't be in this state, would it? They've got to go, guys. And I think it's close. I think it's close. Whether it's by their own hand or it's out of their hands, I think it's close. They are under so much pressure. And at the moment, it's just feeding out more lies, more lies, more lies, more lies. Trying to cover it, trying to cover it. Just sprinkling sugar over a turd. Well, you know, it's just a topping. You know, underneath it's still shit. It's just covering themselves. Saving face. Lie after lie after lie. Lies upon lies. And there's so many times they've forgotten what lies they've told previously and completely contradicted themselves. Many, 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 many times. You've got to be an absolute fuck monkey in the brain not to know these guys are wrong uns and liars. Thieves. Criminals. And they are criminals. Anyone that's a billionaire, you know they've done something naughty. You know they've done something. You don't get to that level without screwing someone over or something over. So, yeah, there will be some criminality in there. And anyone with connections to Epstein. That's not great, is it? That doesn't look good on a CV. Yeah, I've been partying with this Epstein pervert, pedo scumbag for many years. Yeah, I go over to his island, mess about with this, that, and the other. You dirty, filthy scumbags. So yeah, that's a little rant I wanted to get off. But please realise the absolute depth and scale, the size, the enormity of the debts at Chelsea Football Club. Again, we are a dead club walking. Chelsea Football Club is on death row financially. I'll be very surprised if any other football club has got a bigger debt than us right now. Around about 4 billion, give or take. Plus all the interest, all the other bills and expenses that a club has to pay out. And where are we making money? We ain't, are we? Because money was left aside by Roman Abramovich. There was funding left aside for player buys, player transfers, but a big chunk for a new state-of-the-art stadium, much bigger stadium to bring in much more revenue towards the club in future. Well, any money for that stadium is gone. Forget the new stadium. Ain't happening. It won't happen under Blueco. It won't happen under Clear Lake. That money has gone. They spent it on other things, mainly an absolute substandard squad. I was going to say earlier, we haven't got elite players. We haven't got proper elite players anymore. Where's our JTs? Where's our Lampards? Where's our Drogbas? Where's our Hazards? Where's our Petr Cechs? Our Ashley Coles? Our Joe Coles? Etc. Etc. I could go on and on and on and on. Where's our equivalent? They were elite players. And there's many more. Where's our elite players? We've got very good players. Excellent. But not elite. There is still a difference. Excellent is wonderful. But it's not elite. Where's the eliteness? Is Reece James elite? Let's be honest. No, he's not. He's excellent. He's extremely good. But he's not elite. Mainly down to his injury issues. I'm sure he could get elite if it weren't for his injuries. I'll give him that. Joe Cole. Cole Palmer. Could he be elite? Possibly. Is he elite? No. He's extremely good. He's dropped in his abilities and his standards recently. Issues with injuries, yes. probably playing under Rosinia, and the process and the state of the club doesn't help mentally, psychologically. So that's probably affected him. Has he got the ability to be elite? Yes. Will he under Chelsea at the moment? No. Is Enzo elite? No. He can be very good at times. He can be very poor at times. Cucurella, is he elite? No. Can he be extremely good? Excellent. Yes. But is he elite? No. There is a difference. Caicedo, is he elite? Oh, at the moment, he's another player that sort of lost his shine this season. Again, with everything going on at the club, it's gonna mess with you, isn't it? It's gonna mess with your psyche. You're gonna get muddled up. It's gonna affect your game. It's gonna affect your natural well-being. So, Caicedo, is he elite? No. Could he be elite? Possibly, probably. Not right now. He's not. João Pedro, is he elite? No. On his day, he can be absolutely excellent. He could be superb, but he's not elite. He's not an Mbappe. He's not a Haaland. He's not a Harry Kane. They're elite. Big differences. Who else? Esteval? No. Could he become elite? Yes. He's got tackers. He's got great skills. He's got a great mind. He's humble. He's sensible. He's intelligent. He's caring. He's thoughtful. He's got the game now. But he's what, 19, 18, 19 years of age? What are we doing here? Are we relying on an 18, 19-year-old to save us? Do me a favour. Wake up. Smell those coffee beans. Who is elite in our squad? Nobody. Certainly none of our centre-backs, is it? Certainly not Gusto at right-back. Certainly not Asugo or Santos. It certainly, definitely is not Garnacho or Delap or Gittins. When you look at what could be our probable first and strongest lineup, our first 11 and strongest lineup, you could probably go 5 players are excellent, 6 are excellent at best. Then you're scratching your head with the rest of the team. And then you look at the subs bench and you think, oh my God, where's the backup? Almost £2 billion spent. And we're scratching our head with half our first 11 and pulling our hair out with what's on the subs bench for us. Yeah, the directors did well there, didn't they? They did their job. That's worth a 60% pay rise. It just, everything's to suit them. Everything at the club is to suit them. Not the team, not the club, themselves. Directors and the owners. The puppet family, the puppet pyramid within the club. The cancer. I need to stop going on about this, don't I? But it's heartbreaking. The club is fucked. It's gone. Excuse my French. Sacre bleu. Ooh la la. But when is enough is enough? Most people are on board now. Most people can see through the fog of lies, the Fugazi fog. We can see through the bullshit. We can see through the wall that's been pulled over our eyes. We've made little eyelets there. We can see now. Some of us have seen all along. Didn't need my glasses. I do wear glasses after time, but I don't need them to see what Blueco and Clearlake have done to the club. Everything stems from them, by the way. Yes, we can blame the gaffers, we can blame the players, and we can blame the directors, all for certain things. But the bottom line, at the end of the day, it all stems from Blueco, Clearlake. All stems from Egbali, Bowley, Feliciano, Walter, Wiss. Can't even call them like the Fabulous Five or anything, can you? Because they're not fabulous. Or Five Star. Remember that band in the 80s, Five Star? No. You can't call them things like that. They're not worthy. The 5 cancers. I mean, you've got the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Well, I think one's joined the party and become them. It's the 5 horsemen now of the apocalypse. They are to blame. Everything. All the blame. Everyone's fingers should be pointing at them. You get them out, then the rest of the shit goes. I would rather someone else come in. People go, oh, yeah, who's going to come in? Oh, yeah, you know, it could be years before they even improve things. Well, I'd rather someone else come in, like similar to a Roman Abramovich. I know he's a one-off. I said that earlier. But there are people close that could do a similar job. Right? What did it take him? 2 seasons to make us champions? I would rather someone else come in with a much larger focus on the football, more so than the money. I'd rather come in under their ownership, not a consortium either, because that consortium just causes more problems, confusions and arguments and turmoil within the ranks. Get one proper decent owner in who cares about football, and I'd rather sit and be patient with him for a couple of years than keep rotting year after year after year after year under this process, which is only going down. Which option is best? Stick with this lot with the obvious downfall, keep dropping season after season, keep listening to the same shit, putting up with the same shit of going nowhere except, or give it a go with someone else with fresh ideas, with better ideas, with a better process, a more footballing process, a process, a project more fit for football. Maybe a couple of years with that. That's what I would prefer. I think that's worth a gamble. I reckon that's worth a punt, don't you? We can't keep going on under this regime, this tyranny. And that's what it is, this cancer, this slow death on death row. They've got to be gone. We've got to be relentless. Never give up, guys. We keep fighting. There needs to be another protest before the season is out. The pressure is on them, on these owners. The weight is on them, from their lenders, and from their investors, and from us. There's pressure coming from all angles at them. And for the time being, they're still fighting. They're still going to keep feeding out the lies and the PR nonsense just to try and cover themselves. Those lies are getting less and less and less. It's getting that bad. They're even starting to repeat old lies because they're running low on lies and PR. Even some of the journalists. I mean, there's very few honest journalists out there. Most journalists are on the take. The old-fashioned, old style where the story was the most important thing has gone. It's all about who gives what money and who gives the most money. That's where the stories come from now. But more and more journalists now are starting to come around. I don't think just through honesty. I think for the fact they're on the wrong side now. They know things are turning bad, and if they carry on with these bad apples, they're going to start rotting themselves. So they're jumping ship now. They're like, oh shit, things aren't looking so good now. It's going to start looking worse for me personally. I better start being honest. Why don't you just be honest, just for being honest? That's your job. Alex Ferguson said when he kicked off in the media room at Old Trafford, it's your job to tell the truth, to be honest. You keep telling lies, you ain't welcome. Well, you're not welcome. You need to tell the truth. Do your proper journalistic duties and report the truth. Stop taking the brown envelopes. Time's running out. Lies are running out. Patience is running out. And your support, the people that you've blinded with your lies, that you've hypnotized with your lies, well, they're all waking up. So your support is getting less and less and less. So, yeah, no wonder some of you are jumping ship and coming on our side now. Join the masses. Join the majority now and not the minority. But there's still some of you out there spinning a yarn, your Ben Jacobs, your Matt Laws, your David Pawnsteins, your Caves on Sky Sports. Oh, no, actually, he said a couple of things recently, hasn't he, against Sky? So maybe he's starting to turn, but he's still spilling out some shit as well. Who else is there? Oh, yeah. Probably one of the worst of the lot, Fabrizio Romano's. I work 20 hours per fucking day, merchant. That crook. Yeah. They're all wrong uns. But one or two. They've turned around to the brighter side of life now. They're not so much on the dark side. They've become a Jedi now. Yeah, it's just wrong uns everywhere. So there's that. So don't believe any transfer news. I've always said any stuff that comes out, any word, any whispers that come out, any rumours from Chelsea Football Club, I don't say Chelsea Football Club, from Blueco and Clear Lake and the directors at Chelsea, any crap that comes out from them, any crap that's in the media right now, get yourself a little pot of salt, put some in the palm of your hand and do that. Take what they've got to say, and I mean everything, take with a pinch of salt. Don't believe the hype. You remember? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. I'm telling you, don't believe a single word that comes out. They're full of lies and they're full of failure. So, again, I've always said, unless something is there staring you, right in your fizzog, right in your boat race, minces to minces, till that's there, until someone's sitting in that media room giving an interview with the press, until someone's sitting there signing on the dotted line, posing for photographs with your Winstanleys, taking all the credit for fuck all, until you see all this, don't believe a dicky bird, right? It's lies. Take it as lies and absolute bullshit till you see it there. And they're going to keep feeding it. And we've already got tons. Transfer news this, transfer news that, process changes, tweaking this, tweaking that. It ain't changing. The club is dead. Just as a club as general, the name of the club is fucked. It's been ruined. The history is being rubbed into the carpet of Chelsea. The finances just... I implore you guys to read up on these debts if you don't already know. A few good men, you know. Do you want to know the truth? You can't handle the truth. Well, if you try, I'm sure you could. Go and find out the truth. It's not just rumours. We're in massive debt. They can sell the club. They've been lying to you since day one. Lies upon lies upon lies. Those lies are like the debts. We're now getting debts upon debts upon debts upon debts. Well, that's like the lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. Nothing positive at the club anymore. Just because we beat Leeds. All you toxics, all you plastics. Again, stop playing with yourselves. Put your willies back in your pants. Right, keep your hands off. Take your marigolds off and put your Kleenex tissues to one side. You dirty little football perverts. Right? You mindless morons. You thick as shit dickheads. You toxics. You need to wake up. It hurts. 55 years as a Chelsea fan. 55 years as a Chelsea fan. I've said it before. I've been through it. Ken Bates bought the club for £1. We've had money issues. We've had administration threats, bankruptcy threats. We've had relegations. We've had all sorts in my history as a Chelsea supporter. You know, hundreds of games, home and away, in the UK, abroad, blah, blah, blah. Been there, done it, worn the t-shirt with this club. Spent a big chunk of my life supporting this club. I've seen some shit. I've been involved in some of the battlegrounds on the terraces and out in the streets, not for wanting, self-preservation basically, for my own sake. You either fight or get battered, you know what I mean? I've been there. Not proud of it, just sometimes you've got to do what you got to do. But I've seen things, done things, but I've never seen us in such a dark, deep, dirty hole as what we are now. I think this is the biggest crisis ever in Chelsea Football Club. This is probably the biggest crisis within a club in the Premier League, in the top flight of English football, full stop. That's the scale of it. It's monumentally humongous. This is the most rancid, quickest spreading cancer ever known in the history of Earth, I think. This is like the plague. Was it 1666? Is that year the fire of London basically got rid of the plague in London? All the rats and all that. My date's right there. The biggest plague since 1666. The plagues, in fact, are so massive at Chelsea. They're on a biblical scale. Biblical. It's biblical. Please get out. But don't believe any hypes. Just don't believe lies. Anything that's coming out is nonsense. Trying to keep you quiet. It's hush lies. They're trying to calm you down, appease the fans, sweeten you up. And it's just the toxics that are going to be falling for it again. Because, window licker. That's what you are. You're all window lickers. That's it. So that's my story of today. So again, forget all this transfer nonsense. The club's got no money. We can't afford people. And people don't have any elite quality, whether gaffers or players, who in their right mind would want to be at Chelsea now. It weren't that long ago. Players from any team, gaffers from any team, any part of the world, would be overjoyed at coming to Chelsea Football Club. They would love it. They'll be fighting to come and play for Chelsea or manage Chelsea. Now you've got mid players, you've got mid gaffers having to think about it, having to take things into consideration, having to check on this, having to read up on that, having to investigate this. Not so sure about it. That's where we've fallen to. How the mighty have fallen, as they say. And we were mighty. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Hope Spuds lose this afternoon. Come on, Villa, get a win there. We want you to go down. Arsenal won yesterday. Done my Sweden. And I want Manchester City to win tomorrow as well, to keep on the Gooners' arses. But apart from that, any other sort of football-related stuff, what's the point at the minute? What is the point? We've got our match tomorrow against Nottingham Forest. Just with my heart this time. I got sick and tired when I through my predictions of actually, rightly so, considering the circumstances, predicting many defeats recently. And unfortunately, I've been right on every single one. Not the actual scorelines, but the actual result of losing. But tomorrow, I've gone for a 2-1 win for Chelsea. I've been smoking. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore. I haven't done for 4 or 5 years, let alone a bit of puff. You know what I mean? There's no drugs in me. But I don't know what's wrong with my head. I predicted Chelsea to win 2-1. More in hope than anything. I don't expect anything from the team for the rest of this season. I really don't. Despite beating Leeds in the semi-final. Changes nothing. Win, lose or draw. Blueco, Clear Lake out. It is what it is. I rambled on long enough, guys. Sorry, but there is so much to go on. And I wish I could bring you happiness and joy. I wish we could be sitting here laughing and joking and just sharing pleasantries between ourselves. Well, at Chelsea Football Club, unfortunately, there are no pleasantries to share. Not one. Not one. So here we are. Proper stuck in the mud, and we're sinking. Well, it's quicksand. It's not mud, it's quicksand. We're sunk. In fact, we're the Titanic. The 1912. We're the Titanic. We have sunk. Sitting at the bottom of the North Atlantic, just rusting away, rotting away in the seabed. All those leagues down into the ocean. Fish and crabs shitting all over us. Thank you, Blueco. Thank you, Clear Lake. You can fuck off now. You're not wanted. And I don't think it will be that long, to be honest. Like I say, it might not even be in your hands. But let's keep fighting. Get another protest going. Chelsea Football Club will always be here. Blueco, Clear Lake won't. So let's keep fighting. Keep fighting the cause. Keep fighting for justice for our beloved Chelsea. All right. Have a great Sunday afternoon. Have a great bank holiday Monday, guys. Again, apologies, there's no pleasantries, but blame Egg Barley and his crew. All right. Be good. Be safe. Be lucky. Be happy. Enjoy your bank holiday. I'll be back if I hear any more PR bullshit. Laters.